So let's begin, right? Why selling on Amazon is worth it, right? That's the topic of the conversation, and hopefully you will learn that during my presentation. 90%, 99% of products on Amazon or overall need advertising to grow. We do have cases when we launch a new product on Amazon, we do zero advertising and it performs magically. Those cases are incredibly rare. In all the other cases, we have to lose a lot of money, we have to invest a lot of money, burn a lot of money, basically pay Amazon for those products to reach the free audiences that Amazon has to offer. Let me quickly introduce myself. Who am I? What I do? So I've been working with Amazon, managing Amazon accounts for approximately a third of my life, which is about 8 years. I'm very passionate about scuba diving, spearfishing, boxing, airsoft, weightlifting, all these types of things. But that's just something I started doing when I found some time to work not on Amazon. Our team, AMZBs, we are actually here in Vilnius, Lithuania. One of our most interesting accomplishments, we grew a one-product brand from $500,000 a month, a year in revenue to $30 million yearly revenue with approximately 39–40% profit margins. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about how Amazon advertising works following the product life cycle on the Amazon ecosystem. Most likely that can be applied on more marketplaces, but Amazon is obviously the one we're going to talk about. And you will see a story of one of our managed brands, a Lithuanian brand who is in the home and kitchen category. Not a very special product in any way, shape, or form, not a very special company in any way, shape, or form. They just have mastered certain principles. And I think this case study and following their journey will be a lot more applicable for the majority of brands, of manufacturers in Lithuania, rather than a success story of how to achieve $30 million a year of revenue with one product. Basically because those huge numbers, they aren't reachable for the majority of brands, unfortunately. So success doesn't mean extraordinary numbers. It hides at each brand's goals, and sometimes all a brand needs is to reach the substantial profitability in their specific niche. So let's start with the basics of what we need to start selling on Amazon. We got the essentials. These are the four essential things that without not any of them, it's not going to work, right? We need a very, very solid product, good quality, good value for money, undersaturated market. If any of these aren't a solid fit, what is going to happen? The advertising costs are going to be through the roof. The piece of the pie that you can gather from your competitors is going to be a lot smaller. And obviously, if the quality is shit, which is quite often in the Amazon ecosystem, when you buy a product from China and you think you got the absolute best deal, you send the product to Amazon, and what tends to happen is you get a lot of negative reviews. Everything falls apart, right? Probably I don't need to tell you what Amazon advertising is. On Amazon, we do pay-per-click advertising on the majority of cases. We pay for every single click regardless of the sale or not. And advertising helps grow the awareness and all the other things that are needed. But most importantly, the reason why we usually advertise on Amazon and not off Amazon, for example, Facebook, Instagram, email marketing, Google, etc., is because Amazon advertising gives us organic ranking growth when other social media advertising does not. So Amazon has multiple advertising types. So for example, sponsored products. For sponsored products, this is the first advertising type that we do with any new product launch. Basically because it gives us this is the lowest hanging fruit. in majority of cases, even on for the bigger brands, 80% of our ad spend goes to sponsored products because they are search-based. And Amazon, as a search-based platform, that's where the highest amount of traffic is. Sponsored brands, this is when we are raising a little bit of a brand awareness, but even so, we're still targeting the search results with the goal of capturing that exact specific bottom of the funnel audience to bring them to our storefront or to bring them to our other brands. Basically, one of the ways to gather more virtual real estate on the search results. And then we have sponsored display ads and eventually DSP. So this is the advertising type that usually sellers waste a whole lot of money on. DSP advertising in some areas is absolutely not necessary just for the amount of money it requires. But sponsored display DSP, we are now targeting audiences, we are now retargeting audiences, and here is mainly top of the funnel and middle of the funnel. Right, so this is the short info about Amazon advertising and how it usually looks. A very, very quick crash course, and let's dive into the brand journey on Amazon. So the main goals for this brand was to grow as profitably as possible, to establish ourselves in a new marketplace. We were already selling quite successfully in the European markets, in Germany, France, Spain, etc. And we launched in the American market. We launched in the American market with absolutely zero reviews, with new product pages, with new UPCs. Unfortunately, sometimes on Amazon, there's a lot of stealing happening, and one of the main ways of stealing is stealing competitor UPCs. So when you are established in, let's say, European or German marketplace, you move to the American marketplace, and let's say you have about 200 or 300 SKUs like we did. All of our ASINs were stolen by other brands. And with Amazon, it's incredibly difficult to get those ASINs back. So we started with 0 reviews. Even though this was a more difficult start with no customer reviews, we still managed to follow the product lifecycle in a way that helped us grow the brand quite well. And this is a manufacturer from Lithuania. They aren't a huge corporation with endless money that they can invest into advertising. This is the reason why I selected them for this presentation. So we hit these goals by basically following the product life cycle, which is here. I'm not going to go through the whole product life cycle process because it usually would take another 30 minutes, but the product life cycle is relatively simple. For the first 6 months on Amazon, we are losing money. Right? We're investing money. We are technically giving Amazon more money than we get back. The goal during these 6 months is to get traction and get more organic ranking. After that, we are going into the 0% monthly profit margin. We're still technically not really making money, but we are now more established in the marketplace, and we begin the growth phase. Right? During the growth phase, we want to grow profitably. Then we have the cash cow phase, cash cow phase, where now we reach the potential of the market, and we continuously kind of get back the dividends that we earned and invest in the growth and the launch phase. Then we have the death phase, or politically correctly speaking, the product oversaturation phase. Usually, the product after some time dies, and in most cases, not a lot can be done. So in the product launch phase, we started building advertising foundations from the ground up. Our goals were, so to reach our goals, we targeted 20-30 keywords that we already knew with our market research that most likely would convert for our products. And something to note, we started with, I believe, about 12 or 10 variations. So from the very beginning, we started with a lot of products that are very similar. It's the absolute same niche, just we have different types of the same product. And after the initial keywords gathered enough clicks, right, during the launch phase, we got some organic ranking. We started launching exploration campaigns for us to find more keywords that would convert. Right, so we are launching 4 auto campaigns per variation. broad match campaign per one keyword family. So for example, let's say we have 5 or 6 different keyword families, and each keyword family can consist of 20 to 25 keywords, specific search terms. So we are launching broad campaigns per every single keyword family, doing the same thing with phrase match campaigns, and there should have been exact match campaigns as well. And the same thing for exact match campaigns, but with exact match, we are launching one campaign per one target, which means that the end result is thousands of campaigns. And if you have someone in your team who can manage that many campaigns, this is the way to go. Yeah, there we go. The first 6 months we spent launching the products and working at the approximately 0% margin level. So this is the first 6 months. We started in 2021. Quite some time ago, American market. As you can see, the net profit is the lowest of all of the other costs. We had some technically profitable months, but the end result is nonetheless, we are more or less at a zero, maybe a little bit below. The growth phase. In the growth phase, we started shifting our advertising strategy, slowly shifting the advertising strategy. We now had to find keywords where we are starting to make money, right? We are organically ranking higher. That means we can spend a little bit less on specific keywords, going a little bit more broad, and at the same time, being profitable, right? I can't go into the very depths of it, for the main reason that there's just not enough time to show the exact structures and how we do that. But from the advertising point of view, we dominated the market. That basically means that with those 10 or 15 or 12 variations, we were absolutely everywhere in our very small, tiny niche. If you searched any keyword from that niche, we were there. We were dominating the top search results. We were dominating the sponsored brands results. We were dominating the, I think we had video as well. So we were dominating the video results, and then slowly, gradually, we started dominating the organic results. And what basically happened is that we just dominated the market, right? And every single target was separated into its own campaign. We were controlling the TOS, top of search, at its peak. There we go. Another 12 months. This was our growth phase. We basically spent building foundations. And foundations is organic ranking, advertising ranking. Two of these things that really help us establish ourselves in the market, continuously trying to grow, sometimes optimizing for profitability, sometimes optimizing for revenue growth. And this is how it looks in the growth phase. Let me get a drink. Right, there we go. So what ended up happening is, that laser, does it work? Well, not really well. What ended up happening is that we slowly went into, there we go. We slowly went into winter. For these products, winter or colder seasons is the best time to sell. So that absolutely helped. We started launching the product in February, which was still the end of the season for us. And the whole foundations building, the whole ranking building was when our competitors weren't making a lot of money, so we weren't competing with the most expensive advertising. When we went into our season, which was, I believe, on around October, you can see the profit margin started to rise. And one of the things that helped us grow was the defense strategy. I'm showing a few examples of how that looks. This is not our product. I cannot disclose what the product is, but nonetheless, this is how the defense strategy looks. When we have a lot of variations, or when we have a lot of different products from the same brand, we are advertising on all possible areas, on all possible placements within our product pages. And what ends up happening is that no competitor can get into the market. Because if a new competitor comes up, and this has happened multiple times, we immediately start attacking that competitor with our relatively big assortment of products. And when the customer comes into competitor search results page, they just see our products everywhere. And we have done the same with the defense strategy on our own products. What ended up happening, customers are only seeing our specific first image because we have made the first image in a way where it's recognizable, and people just started buying more from us. Yeah, in the growth phase, it's mainly sponsored products that we're being focused on. We do run a little bit of sponsored brands, a little bit of sponsored display, but the 90% or so of the ad spend is going into sponsored products, which gives us ranking and defense strategy, attack strategies, all on these other things. Like I said, winter season helped us a lot. This is what is sponsored products. How does it look like, right? So as time goes on, Amazon wants to make more and more money with advertising. And what ends up happening is they are creating more sponsored placements, which means that even if our product ranks organically #1, the customer on the mobile app, on the computer, will see our product at #5 or 6 or 7. That means that even if we are ranked highly, we still have to advertise and pay Amazon money. If our product is somewhere in #10, #15 organically, people will see that product after advertising somewhere in the bottom of the page at #20, if not #30. So we have to always be advertising, at least the sponsored products. Right. So this was the result of the initial first and a half year. October in 2021, this was still in the growth phase, 7.5K profit. Net profit here is profit after Amazon advertising, after Amazon FBA costs, referral fees, and all the other Amazon costs. This is not accounting level end of the year net profit. Let's keep that in mind. Right, in November, we hit 10K, January 11, March 12. So the brand was already doing quite well. And in that market, we almost reached the top. There we go. Yeah. And it took us one more year since launching our products to establish ourselves in the marketplace itself. And I'm not sure why we have the same. Oh, it's just a comparison, right? So in September 2022, we were at the level where our ad spend was so optimized that there's practically, sorry. The ad spend is so optimized where we practically don't need to run any tests, and things are overall working out quite well. Sorry about that. Right, so in October 2021, this was the beginning of our growth phase. We were doing 7.5K a month in profit. 1 year later, we were almost, well, a little bit more than double the profit. Right, more than 2x. Then the best period of the product life cycle for the brand came, which is the cash cow phase. At this phase, we are no longer creating loads of advertising tests. At this phase, we don't have that much potential to grow besides launching new products. And at this phase, we are mainly just kind of counting the money. Right? The goal is just to continuously be as profitable as possible while the product is still relevant to the market. And obviously launch new marketplaces, but that's besides the point. So as the product is now in the cash cow phase, we count more on sponsored brand to establish the brand even more. Here we're already testing some sponsored brands on the growth phase. By the end of the growth phase, when we get into the cash cow phase, the sponsored brands becomes just a reminder for the customers that this is an established brand in the market. Yeah. And this is the stage where we are testing new products, we are investing into new products, we are killing our current competitors, we're killing our new competitors, and launching new products in similar but highly potential niches. when a new brand or a new manufacturer creates products or launches products that reach the cash cow phase, this is when the channel is proved to be profitable, is proved to the manufacturer that, yeah, this is the channel that we can grow in. There we go. And then we start launching products in more competitive niches with a lot higher potential. So now, with this particular brand, we're launching products that I believe have around $500,000 a month of potential in terms of revenue. So this is something that requires a lot of money. Hence, in the cash cow phase, we need to make a lot of money with our current products. And eventually, we were averaging about $14,000 a month in profit. This is the cash cow phase. This is where we don't see the products growing more than the market is. So if the market on Amazon grows by 10 to 20%, most likely our revenue will grow from 10 to 20%. But at the end of the day, we need to launch new products because the niche itself is where it is. Why? Like, what was so different about this brand that helped it dominate the whole market? Not dominate the market, the reason for the results, right? We dominated the niche, we oversaturated it, and we don't have anywhere else to grow. So yeah, that was the answer to my last slide, apparently. Sorry about that. But when we dominated the niche, new competitors cannot really get in. They can try, they can spend a lot of money on advertising, but we have so much high organic ranking. Our advertising campaigns have such good history that any new competitor coming in is going to have to pay double, if not triple, for the same positions that we already have. Right. So what is my message to you? What's the main thing that you should take from this presentation? It's worth selling on Amazon. We have multiple brands that don't really have anything incredibly unique. They don't necessarily have a supermaster CEO who is, used to building $1 million companies. They don't usually have anything too special about their products besides the quality and the product itself that is in the market that's not too oversaturated, right? They aren't special in a way where, they're not going to make $30 million a year, but they can make substantial profits in their own niches. For some brands, $15,000 to $10,000 or euros a month of profit is a good number to generate from an additional channel. And for a lot of brands, this is what Amazon can be. This can be an additional channel. For the bigger players, for the ones who have higher aspirations, obviously this is a channel that can grow a lot higher. And at the end of the day, don't be afraid to invest money into this channel. This is the channel that has huge potential if you focus on it. If there's not enough focus, at the same time, not enough money, you're not going to get it right, and you're going to waste a lot of time and money. So Amazon is the channel that has to be taken seriously or not taken in at all. Sorry about that. And at the end of the day, be confident to seek for help. Here in Lithuania, I have launched a couple courses. They are, one of them is free to begin with. You can join the Lithuanian Amazon sellers community. There's a lot of sellers that are actively helping newcomers to establish themselves in the market, answering questions, and any way, shape, or form. If you need help, don't be afraid to seek it. This is a marketplace that is incredibly complex, that has so many things within it, that for a person it isn't a full-time job to focus on a specific thing in this marketplace, is definitely a lot to handle. So definitely seek help if you think you need it. And that's it. Thank you for your time. We can connect in LinkedIn. Feel free to add me there. I am posting on LinkedIn multiple times a week about Amazon and things that are related to Amazon. And if you have a brand that has potential on Amazon, let's talk. Send me a message or register on our website. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a very thorough presentation. It was very strategic and give a lot of food for thought. And I have one question for the audience, a very, very particular one. Let's say retail price of a product on Amazon is 50. So what should be the product cost so the numbers would work?
50, right?
Yeah,
50.
50.
$10, $15.
$10, $15.
Like ideally, it's more difficult with the more expensive products because if the product retails as $50, then it can be either super tiny but expensive, or it can be a big product. So it really depends on the size itself. Ideally, when we look at the cost versus the retail price, in the US, we want it to be at least 5x. So if the product costs $5, we want to sell it for at least $25. If the market price is below $25, you could be in trouble. So definitely, there are ways to calculate online for free all the Amazon costs to see if the model makes sense.
Can you give the link if people are interested, or you just can Google it?
You can just Google it, Amazon fees FBA calculator, and there's a lot of extensions, free and paid ones. Even Amazon has their own.
Okay, thank you. Black Friday is coming, and for those who are thinking to win on Amazon.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you haven't started yet, like it's like 5th of October, so is it worth to start or better forget this season?
So if you're selling something like toys, absolutely start as soon as possible. The deadlines are like already there. If you begin in Q4, you might have an amazing start, or you might have a terrible start, one or the other. But we rarely begin launching products in October, right? September might be the latest deadline when we launch a new product because the shipping times, the delays that come in October, it's getting more and more difficult. We are launching new toys and I think a couple new supplements literally a week before Black Friday. So you can, but it might be tricky in a way because all the data is everything's messed up. You don't have deals because, for example, when you're on T5 and on the Prime Day, which is going to be the big deals day in about a week or so, people are expecting discounts. You can't do the discount when you launched last week. Amazon isn't going to give you the availability for that option. They're not going to give you that option. So it's better launch in summer when the traffic is still low, when you still are able to compete on the keywords with little ad spend. Because with some of the bigger products, like we're spending $500,000 a month on advertising for one product. And new brands try to compete with us, they can't. Because we're working on very different levels. But in, for example, August, we might spend $50,000 on advertising because we don't really need advertising. And you can kind of climb in the organic ladder better with cheaper advertising. It's a lot cheaper to get the top of search results, which drives the organic ranking. So there are benefits and drawbacks to starting at this absolute peak season. Ideally, a couple months before the peak season is the best place to start.